Hello, welcome to Free Study Center. Yes, in the first video, I had told you that I will teach you the programming language Python and some parts of mathematics also. Yes, so this is the first class for the mathematics, and today I will tell you some magic with the numbers. Before telling you anything about the numbers, first I will tell you about the different types of numbers and natural numbers that start from 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This is also a counting number, but this number starts from 0, like a number that starts from 0. So if you add 0 to the natural number, then it becomes a whole number that is completely divisible by 2, like 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Then we come with the odd number that is not divisible by 2, like 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, and so on. Integer, integer like a complete number, no decimal value, a number without any decimal point. But remember that infinite is not included in the integer. Yes, so any number before infinite and after, that is a complete. Like complete means without any decimal point, so that are the integer that can be represented in the form of p by q. If I take example 4.5, 4.5, this is equivalent to 9 by 2, which is in form of p by q. So it is a rational number. Now irrational number. Simply this is the opposite of rational number. Example is a square root of 2. As you cannot simplify it. If you start to evaluating the square root of 2, it will not and it will not end it as an integer. You will keep getting decimal points. Similarly, square root of 3, square root of 5. Remember, square root of 4, that is not an irrational number. Because if you evaluate that, square root of 4 is equal to 2 and 2 cannot be represented as 2 by 1. So this is a rational number. Remember, square root of 4 and square root of 9, square root of 16. These are the rational number. But except of that, square root of 2, square root of 5, square root of 11, 13, 14, 8, all these are irrational numbers. In the integers, that also starts from the minus of infinite and goes to the infinite. But infinites are not included in the integers. In the real number, infinites are included. So you will start with the minus of infinite, and so on, minus 2.95, any number, minus 2.968, and so on, up to the infinite. The number does not exist, and examples are like a square root of minus 2, which is not a possible. Like if you find a squares of a number, that is always a positive, and for so these are the imaginary number. This doesn't exist, and we can only imagine these numbers. When you read the complex numbers in your class, in your 11th or 12th, then you will read about these. They are minor square root of minus 1, that is defined as iota, which is represented as I, and you will read that part. Number, and if we add the 0 to the natural number, then this whole circle will become a whole number, and these two together with all the negative and positive, this whole becomes the integer. They are the rational numbers, and all this together will become a real number. First I started with the natural number, which starts from the 1 and goes to the infinite level, and if we add 0 to the natural number, then it becomes a whole number. If we add the negative of those natural numbers to this list, then we get the integers, and if we find out those numbers which what can be represented as a rational numbers or not, we get a rational numbers, and if we get all together like rational and irrational numbers, if we add all the two, then we get the real number. So this, let's say this is your imaginary number, and of course we forgot to introduce you the prime number. Yeah, so if we talk about the in case of prime number, you need to remember always. Okay, so there is a one question like what is the smallest prime number? So most of the time people, most of the time students get confused because which is the smallest prime number as they think about one. But remember guys, note this point. One is not a prime number. One is never a prime number. Okay, so the next prime number is 2, which is divisible by 1 and a self. So 2 is your smallest prime number. 2 is even number also, and is a prime number also. And more prime numbers are like 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, not 15, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, and so on. Why did I mention you all this about the numbers? Because when we start the Python module, so inside that in the basic programming, I will use all these concepts. So yes, so all this was all about for the numbers, and we will see this part like magic with the numbers in the next video.